natin to.
Marcoleta, papalit na kay Lacson. At itong si Cayetano, papalit na kay Soto. Yun. Gusto ko yan. At malamang sa...
Okay, game, pag-usapan ho natin yan sa comment section. Sa tingin nyo ho ba, kailangan ng palitan netong si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, itong si Tuta Soto, at ito naman si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, kailangan na niyang palitan itong si Pinky Lacson? I-comment nyo ho ang inyong mga punto de vista dyan sa baba. Pero bago yan, isang like at isang subscribe, masaya na ho tayo dyan sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community. Yung join button nandyan lang ho sa baba. Kaliwat ka ng interview nitong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta ang ating pag-uusapan dito sa video na to. Dito sa video na to, pinaiyak ho niya yung mga reporter ha, yung mga news anchor dyan sa One News. Palakpakan ho muna natin itong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, ibang klase. Hindi ka talaga pwedeng basta-basta magtanong dito sa mama na to. Pagka nagtanong ka, siguraduhin mo pagka binalik sa'yo yan, masasagot mo ha. Para doon sa mga ika nga reporter dyan sa One News, sa tingin ko huli nyo na yan. Hindi nyo na nanaising interview ulit itong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Rekta ho muna tayo sa update itong si Banat Bay. Grabe naman yung si Banat Bay. Ibang klase ho talaga mga source nitong si Banat. Meron ho siyang nabalitaan. At ito, napakalupit ho nito mga kababayan. Panoorin ho natin to.
Marcoleta, papalit na kay Lacson. At itong si Cayetano, papalit na kay Soto. Yun. Gusto ko yan. At malamang sa malamang, gusto nyo rin yan. Dahil alam naman natin na palpak. As in palpak. Ha? Palpak. Alam niyo sabihin ng palpak. Palpak po ang Blue Ribbon hearing na ginagawa ni Lacson. Kaya naman itong si Lacson, pikon na pikon nung itinatama ni Marcoleta. Naku po.
Yan ang problema eh, no? Pagka ho kasi ito, yan ho kasi problema kay Pinky Lacson. Ano yan eh, kumbaga lumaki ho ang ulo. Dahil napakatagal yan ng senador, wala akong nagko-correct sa kanya eh. Tsaka pinipresenta niya sarili niya bilang isang independente, credible, at pagka binuka niya bunganga niya, siya dapat lagi ang, yung mga rason niya, yung mga punto de vista niya, gusto niya yun lang lagi ang tama. Yan talaga si Ping Lacson. Pero nung meron ng Rodante Marcoleta dyan sa Senado, hindi pwede yan. Di ba? Hindi maaari yung mga ganyang klaseng style. Anak ng toka, oo, investigador ka pero hindi ka abogado. Di ba? At ang matindi ho dito mga kababayan, ituta ho siya ng mga oligarko at ng mga bangag dyan sa Malacanang.
Ang bago! Mukhang umiiyak na itong si Lacson dahil sa minority report na inilabas po ni Marcoleta at ni Senator Aimee. Naku po, patay tayo dyan ha. Marcoleta.
Ibig sabihin, mas iiyak siya dito kasi ano pa nga lang mga kababayan, minority committee report pa lang talagang hindi na humalaman ni Ping Lacson kung anong hahawakan niya sa kanyang katawan. Doon sa naging programa ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta dyan sa Net 25, yung sa ganong mamamayan. Sa tingin mo natin, nagmumura na yan si Pinky nung pinapanood niya yung intay sa bagay. Hindi niya siguro papanoorin eh. Ano yun, bitter yun eh. Kasi alam nitong si Pinky, alam niya kung bakit nagagalit si Pinky. Kasi alam niya na tama ang sinasabi ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Yun lang ho ang dahilan dyan. Tama ang mga punto de vista niya. Hindi niya lang pwedeng sabihin kasi hawak siya sa liig ng mga oligarko at ng mga bangag sa Malacanang. Ito na ho ang interview ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta.
Good evening.
Welcome to the big story. Firstly, did the issuance of a minority report depart from the usual procedure by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee where the minority report would come after the formal report by the main committee?
Did we depart?
Sir, did
No, our purpose is to inform our people that we had already our findings and recommendations on how we should deal with the problems involving the most anomalous and the most scandalous corruption in this country. We started with the 2025 mangled budget. Kasi hindi naman sila gumagawa ng report eh. You remember Senator Ping promised that he will issue or submit a partial report before the December break. At sinisisi niya yung kanyang mga tauhan. Sabi niya, mahihina yung mga tauhan ko eh. Sabi nila, it's already being drafted. Nung tanongin ko, nakatingin sila sa akin, tatango-tango lang. So when can the Filipino people await really the submission of the final report? Kasi ang mga tao, they're agitated, they're frustrated. Galit na galit ang mga tao, ninakaw. Hindi lang ninakaw, nilimas ang kaban ng bayan eh. So ang purpose namin dito, one, siguro to encourage naman the Blue Ribbon Committee, mag-submit na kayo kahit partial report yun, di ba? Para sa tao. Ang tingnan natin dito yung kapakanan ng tao, hindi yung sasabihin nila we departed from the rules. Bakit? Masama bang mag-submit ng minority report in the history of the Senate? Pero hindi ba nagbibigay ng minority report kahit na wala pa yung majority report? Kaya namin ginawa to because hindi namin alam kung kailan sila gagawa ng report.
Okay, pero
We are to do that.
all right. Now Senator Ping says it belongs in the trash can.
Sa kanya, if it belongs to the trust can, nakalimutan niya siguro, di man lang niya binasa yung report. How can you even make a judgment like that? Yung tatlong hearings ko, nung ako pa ang chairman, kasama yung tatlong hearings na kanyang ginawa, pinagsama ko yun eh. So is he ready, or he's prepared to assume and even admit na yung kanyang ginawang 3 hearings, basura din?
Nako!
Pati yung kanyang dalawang privilege speeches na ginamit kong input doon, basura din yun?
Nako po!
Wala namang ganunan. Wala kami ibang motibo doon kung hindi ang kapakanan ng taong bayan. Makakita man lang kung anong nangyari na so far. Hindi namin pinipilit na yun ay kanilang i-adapt. Sinasabi lang namin, tingnan ninyo. Baka naman may mapulot kayo dito. Baka naman makatulong ito. Because ang ginamit namin, hindi namin sarili opinion. We never use our own opinion, our own perspective. Hindi. We utilize the same people. We use the testimonies, individual and collective. So, anong basura doon? Hindi man lang niya binasa.
Congressman Marcoleta, nung sa huling... Senator, sorry. Hindi ako sanay. Senator Marcoleta, before
Hindi nyo kasi ini-interview eh. Dapat interviewin nyo lang. Dapat dalas-dalasan yung pag-i-interview kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Para masanay kayo na tawagin siya Senator. Noong una hindi rin ako sanay eh. Kasi first time tagal nating tinatawag ko. Naiintindihan ko. Kasi hindi nyo kinukuha niya ang kanyang side. Dapat dalas-dalasan nyo ang pagko. Ang dali lang naman kontakin niya kahit tayo dito sa PH Update. Pwede nating pakinggan yung mga interview niyan. Hindi natin makukontak. Ano ba? Wala tayong kontak dyan. Wala tayong kontak dyan kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. At saka ano lang, pwede na tayo siya. Mahirap na eh. Nakakatakot ano yan yung hindi ka basta-basta magtatanong dyan kasi ilalampaso ka dyan.
the last Blue Ribbon
Teka lang, meron akong punto, di ba? Tama naman yung sinabi ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Mantakin nyo. Diba, ganito lang ako kasi mga kababayan. Kung basura yon, basura din pala yung privilege shipping Lacson. Basura din yung tatlong hearing na kinandak niya na kung saan wala tayong nakitang resulta hanggang sa ngayong mga panahon na to. Diba?
committee hearing, no, nag-arrange nga si Senator Ping Lacson na papuntahin yung si alias Maria at alias Joy para nga po mag-establish ng connection with Martin Romualdez, no, and the Discayas. This is in the absence of Orly Guteza. Hindi po ba kayo na-satisfy na mukhang may ginagawa naman siya to make that connection? I know in the press con you said na parang siya yung sumasagot for them.
Kung ikaw ang nagtatanong sa kanila sa sumasagot, what do you feel?
But, well, in the same vein, Senator, kayo ay inaakusahan naman ng nag-aabogado supposedly for the Discayas.
Like what?
Yan.
Well, let me cite yung kine-question ninyo yung restitution, which somehow...
I'm questioning the restitution because in the process of applying for WPP, restitution is not one of the requirements. Pinipilit nila yun para makapamili sila kung sino mag-a-apply. Paano ito? Sino ang magsasabi sa kanila kung magkano i-restitute ng mga Discayas? Alam mo yung civil indemnity will only be available pag sinabi na ng korte yun eh. Hindi yung bago pa mag-a-apply yung tao, ay doon muna kukunan ng restitution. Sino magkukumpute? Magkano? Baka pagmula ng corruption na sinasabi ko sa kanila. Kung wala sa batas, bakit niya pinapalitan? Hindi ba, you are bending the law. Hindi si Discaya pinagtatanggol ko doon. Nagkataon lang si Discaya, siya yung kauna-unahang nag-apply under the WPP. Ang problema, bago pa ma-process yun, nagsalita na yung dating DOJ secretary nun. Ay, hindi basta-basta ipoprocess yun, hanggang hindi niya sinusoli yung pinagnakawan niya. Nakakita ka ba ng gano'n? Nasa batas ba yung gano'n?
Senator,
Wala naman akong makuhang iba ng mga testigo para ang mga lalaking isda ang maituro. Mahirap ito eh, mapapapanganib ang buhay, kaya nga meron tayong WPP. Pero kung ang batas na para sa kanila, hindi gagamitin, ay wala na sila.
Pero yung sinabi pong statement ni Curly Discaya nung hearing na yon na parang sila pa ang ninanakawan, ano naman ang inyong pananaw doon?
Sarili niyang opinion yun eh. Yun ang pakiramdam niya eh. Di ba? Pinapihan ko ba siya doon?
Hindi
Ang gusto ko malaman, paano ko nag-aabogado sa kanya? Paano ko nag-aabogado in the same manner na kapag ako nagtatanong, siya ang sumasagot. Ginawa ko ba yung kay Discaya? Ay kay Gutesa? Nung tinatanong pa si Gutesa, ako sumasagot. Nung si Gutesa ba ihayag ko doon, i-present ako? Wala ba siyang sworn statement? Meron. Tinakpan ko ba yung mukha niya? Hindi. Bakit yung dalawang babae tinakpan ang mukha? Bakit hindi kami binigyan ng sworn statement? Ano ngayong itatanong ko sa kanya? Walang sworn statement?
Senator, syempre, bago ito, no, kayo pa po yung chairman ng BRC, binabati ko sa rin po ng mga tao, allegedly yung asawa niyo daw may connection sa mga Discaya for once and for all. Do you want to lay that to rest?
Yung paliwanag ko na yun, di ba? We proceeded from an ignorant question. Yung paliwanag ko na yun.
Okay.
So,
Hindi yung issue natin dito.
hindi po. Our other, marami po kaming katanungan kung mamarapatin po
Okay
ninyo.
lang. Okay lang.
Yung relasyon
Yes, ma'am.
po ng minority at majority sa Senado ay mukhang talagang hindi na maayos. Ano po ang masasabi ninyo? Paano po ba maisasaayos ang relationship between the minority and the majority?
Sa akin palagay, madali naman yun eh. Pagkaintindihan lamang kami, kung saan patungo ba? Ano ba yung direksyon ng pagdinig na yan? Hindi ba pinag-uusapan natin, makita natin ang utak? Tingnan mo yung sinabi ni Senator Lacson. Doon sa kanyang opening statement, last January 19, noong Lunes, let me emphasize one point, sabi niya. We always go where the evidence leads us. Ang dami niyang binanggit. Number one, halimbawa, noong plenary debate ng budget, panahon ng BBCC, nandun sila. Hindi niya dinisclose yung 8 billion pesos in connection with the disclosure of Saldico na merong 100 billion allegedly na pinalagay ni President Marcos sa net. Ginamto niya yun. Siya ang nag-conclude, hindi totoo yan, sabi niya. Actually, kanya, ginamit ang pangalan ng Pangulo ni Adrian Bersamin. Paano niya na-conclude yun with certainty? Hindi man lang namin nakausap si Adrian Bersamin, hindi man lang niya pinatawag doon. Si Trigib nandoon. Nandun si Bernardo. Hindi lang niya pinagharap. Meron general denial si Trigib. Bakit hindi natin busisiin? Akala ko ba? We should always go with the evidence leads us. Nandun na yung dalawa eh. Dahil ba merong general denial si Trigib? Gano'n na lang. Sinabi niya, sabi pa ni Senator Kiko, hindi mo sabihin at sinungaling si Yusek Bernardo. Yes sir, sabi niya. Pati hindi kumibo si Bernardo. Papayag ba kayo na kinuha nila yung state witness? Sinungaling? Ba't hindi sila kumibo? Tapos sinabi pa ni Senator Lacson, mahirap pabulaan ng sinabi ni Bernardo kasi yung 2.8 billion nasa GAA. kinuha sa program fund. So ang liwanag dito, bakit hindi tayo doon pumunta? Bakit ang pinag-uusapan natin dalawang babae na nakatakip ang mukha? Nasa rules ba namin yun, nakatakip ang mukha? Wala. Pero pag kami ang gagawa, wala raw sa rules. Pag sila pwede, kahit wala sa rules, okay lang. Can you see the difference?
Correct. Galing si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Talagang ika nga na-checkmate na naman ho itong si Pinky doon sa mga punto de vista na yon, itong si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. At ang matindi ho dito mga kababayan, sinabi, Diamond Hotel. Hindi man lamang ho, alam naman natin na yung mga CCTV footage doon sa Diamond Hotel na yun, dinilit na yun, pagkabanggit pa lang ng pangalan, burado na ho yung mga dokumento na yun. Tipong, okay, sige, sigurado ka, hindi kayo nagkita, hindi kayo nagpalitan ng sasakyan sa Diamond Hotel. Diyan sa petsa na yan. Supli na nyo. CCTV footage ng Diamond Hotel. Alam naman natin na wala na yan. Kayo ba naman, kahit kayo ang hotel, may-ari ng hotel na yan, makakalaban nyo si Martin Romualdez at si Marcos Jr. Pwedeng pahirapan yung business nyo na yan. Sa tingin nyo ba, mananatili yung mga dokumento na yan? Wala na yan. Tanggap na natin yun. Kaya hindi na natin sinasabi dito sa PH Update na kunin yung mga CCTV footage ng mga parking ng Diamond Hotel. Dahil alam natin wala na yan. Mantakin nyo, abogado nga na nag-notaryo, tinanggihan yung notaryo niya dahil makakaladkad siya dito sa napakalaking skandalo na to. At naiintindihan natin yon sa parte ng Diamond Hotel. Pero sana kung meron man, ilabas nyo yan para tulong nyo na rin yan sa ating mga kababayan. I-blur nyo na lang yung mga plate number. Pero ipakita nyo na talagang merong nagpalitan ng sasakyan dyan sa Diamond Hotel na yan. Di ba?
So, Senator, we do understand the public is really impatient. Gusto nyong magbigay ng inyong report. In the end po ba nakikita ninyo that the blame should be at the doorstep of Malacanang?
Sabi nga niya, we always go where the evidence is. Gusto kong malaman kung talagang doon maglilid. Siya yung chairman eh. Gusto ko doon niya kami dalhin, kung saan man yun. Hindi sa akin manggagaling yun.
Okay, and balikan ko lang quickly yung majority and minority relationships within the Senate, Senator. Yung minority report kasi was signed by 6 out of 9 members. We know na indisposed po at unavailable si Senator Bato. Pero may reason po ba kung bakit hindi 8 ang pumirma nito?
Hindi pumirma nga si Senador Bato, 6. 6 out of 9 ang pumirma. Ang hindi lang nakapirma, si Senator Alan, may sakit siya nung panahon ng araw na yun. Si Senator Cheese, hindi kasi siya member ng Blue Ribbon. Si Senator Joel naman, sabi niya, bro, pinababasa ko, pinariripaso ko muna sa mga mukhang magtatagal, sabi niya. Napag-usapan na namin, total 6 na yung pumirma, binigyan namin ng kopya ang opisina ng ating Pangulo ng Senado. Yan ang dahilan kung doon namin binigay. Hindi sa Blue Ribbon. Ayaw namin bastos. Binigay ko na lang namin sa opisina ng Senate President, thinking na ang Senate President pwede nilang pag-usapan kahit privately. Ang plano namin doon, makita man lang nila. Diba? Kaya lang, yung media naman na kinausap namin noon, nung una kong ibigyan ng kopya sa akala ko naman, kahit papano, ilalabas nila yun para makatulong man lang. Agitated ang tao, kagaya mga sabi mo, frustrated, nagagalit na. Ano kung hindi pa pala kami magtatawag ng press con sa Senate, hindi man lang pipikapin. December 10 pa, ma'am, nung ibigay namin sa opisina ni Senator Tito Soto.
And having said that, Senator, may posibilidad ba na mag-iba yung mga grouping sa Senado? What I mean is that leadership changes, their talk of that. Kasi napaka-slim nung majority right now. So, yung minority is actually in the position. So, kung may unsatisfied members of the majority, may ganun po ba?
Ay, hindi ko na ano yun, wala akong tinitingnan na ganung angulo. Hindi yun ang aking priority. Ang priority ko matapos natin ito kahit paano.
Ano lang yun nasagap lang na balita ni Banat Bayon hindi yun yung content ng sinasabi dito ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Disclaimer ho yan mga kababayan. Baka sabihin ng mga kasama natin dyan, di naman pala si Banat ho yun, si Banat. Baka meron ho siyang nalalaman na hindi natin nalalaman. Marami hong nalalaman yan na hindi natin nalalaman.
Mabigyan natin ng paliwanag ng taong bayan na ito ang pinaka-importante. Kahit sino pang mamuno doon, kahit sino pang maging pinuno, ay sa amin ang importante, mapagsilbihan natin ang mamamayan.
Pero doon po sa minority report, wala pong, you were silent, syempre kabahagi ng minority ang ilang senador na involved or tagged, could be involved in the flood control scandal. Pero parang napawalang sala sila. Or at least hindi nyo nabanggit yung mga senador po, like Senator Cheese Escudero, Senator Joel Villanueva, Senator
Kung binasa po ninyo hanggang sa kaduluduluhan yung minority report, sinasabi namin dito na meron kaming parang misgiving sapagkat nung mabanggit ang mga pangalan ng 3 senador na involving ng minority, nag-intervene na po roon ang Secretary of Justice. Maalala ninyo, mga resource persons namin ito Biglang darating ang Secretary of Justice, makikialam doon, kukunin niya, dadalhin sa NBI, pagbalik niya, meron siyang supplemental affidavit. Katulad ni Bernardo halimbawa, meron siyang unang affidavit, saka kukuha niya, saka dadala sa NBI, akalain niyo, nakagawa ng 2 supplemental affidavit nang wala kaming kinalaman. Yung magtrabaho pa namin yun. Doon lang nabanggit ang mga pangalan. Pinalagay namin doon na meron kaming misgivings dito. Kaya namin, kahit na nabanggit ang pangalan, sana hindi ganito ang paraan, sabi namin. Because this is purely legislative investigation. It is an investigation in aid of legislation. Hindi ito police investigation Ang ginagawa nila, mapapalitan yung unang affidavit ng isang supplemental affidavit, another supplemental affidavit, wala kaming kinalaman. Hindi namin alam kung ano nangyayari. This should not have been happening. So, kanina kung magkakaayos kami, madali kami magkaayos nito kung mag-iisa ang direksyon namin, kung para sa tao kami.
Senator, parang correct me if I'm wrong, na ang impression ko ay para bang niluluto? Ganun po ba ang implication ng sinasabi ninyo?
Wala kami sinasabing ganun. Ang gusto lang namin sabihin, kung talagang we will always go where the evidence leads us, yun ang panatilihin namin. Palaging ganun ang parameter. Kung may ebidensya, yun ang puntahan. Bakit yung sinasabi nilang 8 billion na binibigay ni Bernardo kay Trigib, at si Trigib naman binibigay niya kay Adrian, bakit hindi ito yung suyurin natin? Bakit yung sinabi ni Senator Lacson na makita niya yung Cabral file, at least 5 secretaries and an undersecretaries were recipients of allocable as shown in the Cabral file. Ba't hindi niya ipatawag yung 5 secretaries? Hindi ba dapat ganito yung gawin natin? So, yung Tamarin Street,
Yan.
sa South Forks, binanggit ng dalawang nakamaskarang dalawang binibini. Ang pakay lang pala ituro si Diskaya na siya nagpapaalis sa kanila. Yun lang pala yun ba yung pag-uusapan natin? And why did they concentrate on the problem of coordinate? Alam mo nung ako yung chairman pa, kung di ako nagkakamali, the first or second hearing pa lang, sinabi ko na, puro mali ang coordinates dito. Ngayon, siguro kalahati nung hearing, yung pinag-usapan nila, they confirmed that the coordinates are really wrong. Sinabi ko na ito September pa eh. Ano, uulitin na namin yun? Yung ba yung gustong marinig ng tao? Ang gustong marinig ng tao, hindi mga wrong coordinates, sinabi ko na yun eh. Ang gustong makita ng tao. Sino ba may utak nito? Nilimas na ang kaban ng bayan, hindi ba importante sa atin yun?
And finally, Senator, there are 3 impeachment complaints filed against the President. Although this may end up in the Senate, ano po ang pananaw ninyo ukol sa... I'm asking because yung complaints link the President to the flood control scandal.
Patawarin niyo na po ako kasi hindi ako nakakapag-commentan kasi sabi mo nga, it might lead to the Senate. Kung magkakaganon, magiging Senator Judge ako, I will not like to preempt this. Pasensya na po kayo.
Alright, marami pong salamat sa inyong panahon, Senator Rodante Marcoleta.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, rumekta naman ho tayo ngayon dito sa naging interview nitong si Atty. Ferdy Topacio dyan sa On Point dito kay Ma'am Pinky Webb. Kaugnay ho ito doon sa bigong pagsasampa nila ng impeachment laban dito kay Marcos Jr. dahil hindi tinanggap ng opisina ng SecGen. Ito mga kababayan.
Against President Bongbong Marcos, pero ano mo nangyari? Siyempre wala po doon si SecGen.
Yes, wala daw siya. She was in Taipei and we talked to the executive director who flatly refused to accept our impeachment complaint.
Who was your endorser?
They would not want their identities divulged at this point, but what they said is that because of what the Makabayan bloc experienced, they would only go down once it was certain that the impeachment complaint would be accepted.
So they were there?
They were there. All 3 of them were inside the premises, just waiting for our go signal to go down to the office of the SecGen and affix their signatures as endorsers of the
They would have done it right there and then kung tinanggap po yung inyong complaint.
Yes, definitely. And informed the executive director of that fact.
But no, they didn't want to accept
Yeah,
it.
and we were insisting, but of course we cannot do anything. But we have it on video that we tendered the complaint, which is under the law tantamount to acceptance thereof.
Ganun ba yun?
Well, there are principles to that effect.
But did you leave also your complaint?
They refused to accept it, and that is contained in the video. I was handing it to the executive director, and he refused to have anything to do with it.
Sabi nga
It's really
nila,
funny.
they didn't even want to touch it.
Yes, exactly.
Attorney Ferdy, let's talk about this because I spoke to Nato earlier. Ito nga yung pinag-usapan din natin during the break. Should be filed with the Office of the Secretary General. Malinaw naman po yun under Section 3, filing and referral of verified complaints. Do you plan, I heard a while ago that you might question this before a higher court, itong hindi pagtanggap nila?
Yes, definitely, because this practice has to stop. It happened with the Makabayan bloc. It happened with Duterte Youth last year, where they also refused to accept it. And what is happening is that they only accept the impeachment complaints that they want. And those that they do not want, they find one reason or another to reject it or refuse to accept it outright. So that has to be stopped.
When do you plan to question this before the Supreme Court?
Well, immediately, because we are still debating amongst ourselves whether to return on Monday and make another effort or to simply go up to the proper judicial authority, since we have it on record anyway that they have really refused to accept it in contravention of the rules.
So to be clear, you are considering, you're not yet sure of actually questioning this before the Supreme Court.
We
You're
are,
ending this on Monday.
we are more or less sure. It's just the timing as to whether we will make another effort or we go straight to the Supreme Court.
Let's talk about the arguments that your group is part, or rather forms part of your impeachment complaint. It's also betrayal of public trust. And ano pa ho ba? Betrayal of public
Actually,
trust?
everything that's in the Constitution except for treason, because treason is a wartime crime. So, I believe that the grounds are familiar to everyone. There's flood control, there's the GAA, 3 GAAs, there is the
Tatlo po,
corruption.
2023,
24,
25, okay.
yes.
Tama lang.
And of course, the knowledge that there is corruption but failing to do anything against it. And of course, the statement of Senator Amy Marcos, a sister who should know about the family tradition and the family practices, who made a very strong case for drug use with respect to the president.
Yun po. It's pretty much the same,
Yes.
I guess, as the first also complaint. Dahil ginamit din sa first complaint yung sinabi po ni Senator Amy
Yes.
About her brother. But in your complaint, are you also alleging direct involvement in kickback due to the flood control project?
Yes,
Meron din po yun.
yes, that is included in a bribery and betrayal of public trust. And I believe that one of the things that bolsters our contention is that the trust rating of the president is at an all-time low. So if that is not a betrayal of public trust, then I do not know what is.
But is that good enough evidence for you? Is that strong enough evidence for you? Because if we were to look at surveys, it was also proven during the last elections that a lot of the surveys actually didn't really reflect what came out during the elections?
Well, we are not going to present, of course, a survey as evidence. It's just a result of the betrayal of public trust. And as everyone knows, an impeachment trial is not really evidentiary in nature. It is political. So it ebbs and flows with the politics of the times.
What about in terms of in relation to corruption? What evidence are you going to present there?
I believe there is a lot of evidence that is what they say, res ipsa loquitur, or they speak for themselves. The failure to veto certain provisions which have already been held unconstitutional in the 2013 case of Bellica. The knowledge that there is corruption, but as stated by no less than a member of the legislature, Representative Toby Tanco, who has no interest in impeaching the president.
Which one among his statements are you
The
referring
one where he said that the president was aware of the corruption. So if he is aware of the corruption, what is he doing about it?
Which exactly?
The one where he said that ilang bahay pa ba sa Forbes Park,
Ilang
etc.
caviar yung gusto
Gaano
mong
maraming
kainin.
caviar.
Yun po. Yun, that's one thing that
That's
is
one po. That's one.
okay.
Actually, ours is a very substantial, if I may say so, 44-page complaint with thousands of pages per complaint in annexes, which is a far cry from the 4-page complaint that was filed by Attorney De Jesus. I mean, with all due respect to a brethren in the profession, can we believe that a particular impeachment complaint was designed to fail?
There is talk, some are saying that it might be a weak impeachment complaint, so you're sure that the first impeachment complaint is a weak one? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely, and in fact, a lot of lawmakers share my view that it is going to be dismissed, and however, it will serve the purpose of inoculating the president for 1 year.
Well, yeah, because it triggers the one-year bar rule.
Yes, it
Hindi ba?
does.
Let's go just to two things now. With regard to the Secretary General, if we just go back to last year on the impeachment complaints filed against Vice President Sara Duterte, December 2, there's the first
Yes.
impeachment complaint. December 4, the second one. December 19 was the third one. And I recall, during that time, I had always asked this question, when will the Sec Gen forward this to the office of the Speaker? And I recall that the answer or the reply back then was, nakikiusap kasi yung ibang mga mambabatas kasi baka gusto din nilang mag-file ng kanilang version ng impeachment complaint. Does that work? Because to me, they say that the job of the Secretary General is ministerial, and yet the Secretary General, whether it's intentional, unintentional, forced or not forced, deliberate or not, can make decisions like that. At sandali lang kasi nakikiusap ang ibang mga congressman.
Hindi dapat, because since you have the rules in front of you, take note of the word immediately. It shall be immediately referred to the Speaker,
Yeah.
who has 10 days to refer it to committee.
Immediately refer to
Yes,
the Speaker.
definitely.
Yeah.
So,
But how can that be resolved, Attorney Ferdy? Yun po yung tanong ko. Kasi like with the case of the former impeachment complaints against the Vice President, it was resolved by the Supreme Court, subject of course to a motion for reconsideration. I didn't even think, to be honest, na magkakaproblema ngayon dito sa pagtanggap pa lang ng impeachment complaint, and yet here we are.
Definitely, all that the Secretary General has to do is follow the evident intent of the rules, which was promulgated way back in the 15th Congress, if you will look at the
Was it back
rules.
in the 15th Congress?
I believe, yes, 15th Congress. I believe you have it there. It says...
No, walang nakasulat sa
ganun
15th
ba?
Congress.
Oo.
It just says Section
Oo.
3 filing and referral of verified.
Because I have a printout of the rules. It was promulgated way back in the 15th Congress and continuously adopted until the present Congress.
So how can one appreciate the responsibility or expectation from the Secretary General now?
I believe that, actually, that's a very tricky question because there is not even any need to resolve this. The rules themselves say that it is referred immediately to the office of the Speaker. So there is no leeway, no elbow room provided for by the rules. I think one way to resolve this is to sanction the Secretary General for failing to follow the rules of the House. And it pains me to say this because the present Secretary General is a good friend of mine. We worked together under President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think though that the House should promulgate new rules or clarify new rules with regard to this? Kasi yung pagsabihin na filed with the Office of the Secretary General, which to me is clear office,
Yes.
not the Secretary General, and immediately referred to the Speaker, does that come with a lot of permutations or interpretations?
I believe, this is just my 2 cents, that a memorandum from the Office of the Speaker will suffice, directing the Secretary General to follow that interpretation of the law. I mean, it's a matter of to the Secretary General, for the Secretary General from the Speaker. When you say immediately, it means immediately, and when you say it's in the Office of the Secretary General, it's either herself if she's present, or if not, she will designate the next in line to receive the impeachment complaints.
Especially because there was a lot of talk already that several other impeachment complaints were going to be filed against.
Yes, because it's just common sense. I mean, if you file something with the court, the judge does not have to be there. If you file something with the office of the president, does the president have to be personally there? Of course not. So it just follows. It's very logical.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Nato a while ago. Sabihin po natin that because when we used this, the Office of the Secretary General and immediately referred to the Speaker, the Secretary General immediately did refer the first impeachment complaint to the Speaker.
That is exactly my point.
Okay, so nandun na po yun. Meron pong second that they say is deemed initiated. Kayo po, the third, do you also say that yours is deemed, filed? Deemed filed, sabi ng second impeachment complainants.
Under the general principles governing matters of this nature, the tender should have been sufficient. But then again, of course, there will arise the question of the physical copy what will be referred immediately to the office of the Speaker, and then what will the Speaker refer to the committee within 10 days.
That's
so that is
what I
the
wanted to
problem.
ask you. But
Yes.
I'll go back just a little bit. What is the status of your impeachment complaint?
We believe,
Is it being filed?
We believe so, but of course, that does not bind the Secretary General, to be fair.
Okay,
So,
so-
that is why we will seek guidance from the Supreme Court to avoid situations of this, exactly of this nature in the future.
In the future,
Yes.
okay. Then let's talk about what you just said, Attorney Ferdy. Yung isa po, binigay na po kay Speaker, referred to the Speaker already. And then Article 11, Section 3 basically states that it should be referred to the proper committee, should be included in the order of business
Yes,
within 10
within 10
sessions.
days,
Okay,
yes.
doon muna tayo before we go to the proper
Yes, and
committee.
that is mandatory, actually.
Exactly. So paano po pag nauna, the first one was referred to the Speaker already, and then what happens on Monday? What is your expectation on Monday? For example, if the second impeachment complaint will be refiled or filed again by the Makabayan Bloc, and then the third one, to which you were part of, will be filed again on Monday.
If they accept that of the Makabayan Bloc, well, because it's already endorsed, then I believe that it should be consolidated with the first one.
The second one with the first one?
Yes, the first one, the one of De Jesus.
Yes.
The Makabayan Bloc's complaint should be consolidated.
Why?
We have seen it. We believe it is substantial. And just for this nonce, we support the Makabayan Bloc on that. So we believe it to be so because it was filed before the session started. Both would have been considered filed before the referral and the 10-day period begins to run. So
Because they are on break, pwede
Yes.
pong any time, yesterday, the week before, that they
Opo.
were not in session, pwede pong sabay-sabay yung ibigay kay, to take it up in the order of business within 10 days because they were not in
Yes,
session.
we believe that should be so if the impeachment process is going to perform its role as an instrument and tool of accountability.
Okay, but what about yours? If yours were to be filed, rather on Monday, what happens? Will you just drop it?
Well, we still don't know actually. We still need to talk about it tomorrow, but rest assured that if our endorsers are still willing on Monday, then we may proceed.
Why will they not be willing? If they are willing today, why will they not be willing on Monday?
There is a lot of pressure on them actually.
And what
That
is the difference between the pressure today and on Monday?
Well, actually, that is why we do not want to reveal their identities. But of course, when we went there, the people who met us, they can surmise as to who these endorsers will be. Makuhulaan po nila eh. Lalo na kung saan kami pumuntang opisina kanina.
Alam na po doon. Alright, so I guess we're gonna have to see what happens on Monday. And
Tingnan na lang ho natin kung ano mangyayari sa Lunes. Marami yung kaganapan sa Lunes. Yan, hindi lang ho dyan sa Senado, hindi lang ho dyan sa House of Representatives, maging sa Senado. So Luis, maraming salamat po sa pag-support sa Page Update. Maging at ho kayong lahat. Palakpakan ho natin itong si Atty. Ferdy Tomasio.